In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up your cron job. You may not have heard that term before, or you may have, I don't know. But a cron command is basically it's a scheduled command that runs on your web server every so many minutes or at a predetermined schedule. So in order for us to successfully schedule an SMS message into the future. So let's say I want to send this out March 1st instead, so I would select that date and time and make sure that I have the right. Now this is something that's important. You notice how I'm actually recording this at 6:24 p.m. Or 6:23. You notice how it says 1:23. That could be a problem because that's something to keep in mind when you're doing this. And when you go down here to SMS scheduling, it'll tell you what your current time zone is and what the current time on the web server is. Okay, so because this is a demo website, I never took the time to set my time zone properly. So if I click on settings, here a link is provided. And then I want to go to time zone. Let's see. Where is it? Denver. I'm in Denver. You can also use the plus or minus, a certain number of hours and that type of thing. I think I'm -7 or something like that, but I'll just set it to Denver. Save changes. Now if I go back to SMS messages and click on a new message, you'll see that I can set the time, and now it's 18:25, so it's military time, so 6:25. But I can set it for, let's say I want to set it for tomorrow at this time. I can set OK, type in my message, hit schedule. Now the last thing you have to make sure is set up is your cron command. Now you only have to do this once. You don't have to do this every message. You set this up once, and everything should happen properly after that. Now, after you set it up, though, this box will remain here. Just because you set it up doesn't make this box go away, because it's really a totally separate process. So the box will remain. Although if you create an SMS user, a user on your WordPress site that has a role of SMS user, and they go to send a message, they won't see this box. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to copy this command right here. Okay, and then you want to go into your hosting control panel. And I'm going to use a control panel for that is cPanel. Now, you probably recognize this. There's a really good chance that yours looks a lot like this. It's the most popular control panel out there, I think. But regardless of what control panel you have, there should be a section on here for cron jobs. And if I type in the word cron, you'll see that it's coming up here, or you can search for it on the page. So if I go to my cron jobs, now this particular hosting account is not the same hosting account as my plugin. I'm hosting it on DreamHost. This control panel is for another hosting company, and however, it doesn't matter because it is called. The command can run from almost any web server usually. So what you do is you want to. I set my commands to run up to every minute. It won't hurt anything for this to run every minute. It is recommended that I recommend that you set it as frequent as possible. Because if you schedule something, and let's say you schedule it and you can only run it, well, if you only run it twice a day or once a day, that means your scheduled messages won't go out until this command runs, which looks like it's midnight. So we don't want to do that. So be careful what you choose. Excuse me. Like I said, go for every minute if you can. Some web hosts limit you to every 5 minutes possibly, or maybe every, just keep that in mind. Usually 5 or 15 minutes, that should be fine. Usually text messages, they don't necessarily need to go out the exact minute. If it's plus or minus 15 minutes, it's okay if you scheduled it for delivery at a later date. But again, let's set it for every minute. So you can see it's every minute, every hour, every day, every month, every weekday. All right, and here's the command. This is what I copied from the plugin and I pasted right there. And I'm going to click Add New, and you'll see that I have my new command down here. Okay, so that is how you set up a cron job in cPanel. It might be a little different in your control panel, but it should be basically the same. So what's going to happen is every minute the web server is going to run this command, and the curl command basically says go ping or grab this URL every minute. So it just grabs that URL. There really is no output, but what it causes is it causes your website to trigger all the activity required to make everything run on WordPress. So so that if no one's on your website, if there's no activity on your website, you're not logged into your site, and no one is going there, this web server is going there, and it is triggering all the SMS message commands needed for those things to go out at the proper times.